What's happening, Hot Wheelers? Joe Motor here. Finally got a chance to sit down and show you some of these vintage race cars that I've been collecting over the summer, so I'm excited to get started on that. But first I want to just take my hat off to those of you in South and coastal Texas who are dealing with a very serious Hurricane Harvey situation this weekend, and it's going right through where I used to live, and I just can't get my mind off of it. So I just wanted to take a minute to say that I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys come back stronger on the other side of this storm. And my hat's off to all the first responders and people that are in for some hard work and some hard times as we, rebuild down there. It's hard. Once a Texan, always a Texan. And so just can't help but thinking about you guys. I know a lot of the first responders are going to be busy this weekend, and so I just wanted to show this green light 1/64 scale from the Hot Pursuit series, the Crown Vic State Trooper, Texas Department of Public Safety. This car, you see them all over the highways and interstates in Texas, and I'm sure they're going to be working overtime over the next few days, dealing with traffic and power outages and keeping people safe. So my hat's off to you guys, and I'm definitely, thoughts and prayers go out to all my friends and family and everyone dealing with Hurricane Harvey in South Texas. So let's get on with the show here, and let's start off with a Matchbox, why don't we? This car right here is a stunner. And again, it's one of those cars as a collector I had never seen before, and when I saw it, I just had to have it. It's a super great Matchbox piece from the Superfast series, which came right after sort of the Lesney series, and they were getting a little bit more detailed, a little bit more the construction of these cars was just getting a lot more interesting. So this piece here called the Hot Smoker, it's actually the number 5 Hot Smoker. I'm not sure if there was a number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't done extensive research on this particular series, but this piece right here is just fantastic. The banana yellow color and the tamper work is actually pretty advanced for a car released back in the early 70s, like 1971 or so. You can see this is probably based on a Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger body style. Looks like kind of a Charger body style. As you can see the Dodge logo on the back there. The Valvoline and Champion, STP and Goodyear badges. The number 19 and the Hot Smoker lettering on the side. And I'm not sure what this black striping is. I don't know if it's just part of the design or if it's actually sort of supposed to look like it's blacking out some other kind of detail. You'll have to let me know if you know in the comments below, but it's an interesting detail nonetheless. But just a beautiful stance to this vintage car, and it's got the super fast wheels, a little bit thicker in the back than in the front. But if you look around the back, look at the stance of this car in the back, the detail, the glossy black on the bottom, just beautiful, beautiful stance on this car. Even though it's a little crooked, but my goodness, how old it is, it's just in fantastic condition. And I bought it loose too, which is, this is almost looks like it came right out of the package. So I am really happy about this car, especially some of the details like this red tinted windows. Now if you look down inside, you can see the effect it has. It makes it look red hot down in there, which is appropriate for the name of this car. But the really cool thing about this car is that you get the full funny car effect when you pull up the body, and look at that. The stand sort of automatically hugs the engine and sets itself in place, so you get the full drag funny car experience here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Really love this piece. Really love looking at that, and up close it's even better. The grille work on this is finely detailed, really beautiful work here by Matchbox. And then going into the engine detail, back into the bucket seat, you can sort of see how the stand attaches to the interior, the sort of red tinted window piece that's up there on the top. But my goodness, look at that. That is just a fantastic looking drag racer, super vintage. See down on the bottom here, you can see the Matchbox Superfast logo, the number 5 Hot Smoker, and it's an England Lesney product. So that is a super cool Matchbox that I'm very happy to have in the Motorhood collection, and definitely part of the display case. So let's get on with some Hot Wheels now, and this one here is not really a vintage release, even though it's a vintage car. This one was a re-release when the Hot Ones was reissued sometime in like 2010, 2011, I want to say, and a whole new Hot Ones series came out. Now what's interesting about this is the Mustang Mach 1, is that the wheels are actually not Hot Ones wheels. Hot Ones wheels have a much thinner sort of spoke, if you will, opening in the wheels. These are actually black walls with gold coloring. So I'm not sure why they did that. Not sure about the choice of using black walls and calling them hot ones. But if you guys know some of the reasoning for that, you can let me know in the comments. But I just love this. The Mustang Mach 1 is my favorite Mustang body style, I'm pretty sure. Just love that stance. It's, you know, a little bit exaggerated for the Hot Wheels model, but I just love it. It looks like a snake. I love these, the black hood pins in the front just give it a real snaky appearance. Love the flamage and the graphics. The front end of these Mustangs are just mean looking. Love this model. And the tampos on the side are fantastic, nice and sharp, really nicely done, easy to read. Interior is kind of a gray color. And this is actually a chase car, which is why you see the Hot Ones lettering on the tire here. So there is a version without the lettering, that's the regular release, but I found this one loose and it's the chase version. So they were doing chase cars when they re-released the Hot Ones series. So there's some other models with the lettering on the tires as well, but that's just beautiful. Love that piece and very happy to have it in the collection. Back onto some vintage models now. There's this little piece. Here's the Baja Bug and the Dakar Rally Deco, which is pretty neat. It's not very rare or hard to find, but it is an India base, which I find pretty interesting. Some of the India models are very rare and hard to find. Some of them are not. This one is not too hard to find, not too expensive, but I love the graphics on it. Simple red with some retro graphics on the side, and the Dakar Rally Tampo here on the side as well. Love that big meaty motor in the back. The interior of these is actually pretty cool. Lots of detail in the back there. You can see some tools back there, a padded roll cage, and then bucket seats down into the gear shift, steering wheel, and some dash detail even. So quite a bit of detail in this little Bug. Now there's tons of different variations of this Bug, as a lot of you know. The only other variation I have is the Real Rider Blazing Bug. They look pretty good side by side. But this one actually says Baja Bug on the base. It's a Malaysia base, and this one doesn't. It's an India base, but I don't know. Pretty interesting, but there's tons of variations of this Baja Bug out there, and I'm sure I'll continue to track them down. Why don't we look at these Marauder Stalkers since they're in the background here, because I added a couple more to the collection. I've shown these yellow ones before. This is the sort of lemon yellow version with the Hot Ones wheels. Tan interior, Hong Kong base, and then this one is the Metal Flake Gold version, Hot Ones wheels, Malaysia base. And then I picked up two more variations of this car, which is the Hot Ones wheels, red tampos, tan interior. This one's a Hong Kong base. And then finally the same version but with Blackwall wheels. This one's a Hong Kong base as well. So everything is very similar about this car. All the tampos are exactly the same. It's just the color of the car is different. Really love having all these variations. There's probably a few more that I'm missing, but I just love seeing all these cars next to each other. It's such a cool, makes for a cool picture. But you can see the difference between the Hot Ones wheels and the Blackwall wheels for those of you who are new to the hobby. The original Hot Ones wheels, this gold sheen and the sort of slit for the sides here, really awesome, and they had some suspension and they just roll like a dream. Blackwall's not so much, and even the reissues of the Hot Ones wheels were not as slick as the original, so it's a little point to put in there. But that's the Dodge Marauder Stalker. Really happy with those. Another one that's kind of not a rare bird, but just not one you see that often, is this Fox Body Mustang. This is the Turbo Mustang, and sort of a NASCAR tempo. It's got the checkered flag on the back here. Number 31, some sponsor badges, and then the sort of orangey gold or yellow really, and black and white tampos. Really beautiful stuff on this. Love the tampos. Nice Fox Body Mustang. Not my favorite body Mustang, but it's still, man, it's just a mean little machine. And I love the taillights on this. The interior is red, as you can tell, and then they used that interior to come up into the taillights back here. They left the metal open, and then they did a clear coating on that, a clear plastic piece to coat on that, so you get a little red glow behind there, which is pretty cool. But love this piece. Love the Hot Ones wheels on this. And you know, I'm not really a fan of gold, but the Hot Ones wheels get me every time. They're just fantastic wheels. And then a full-on banana yellow base here, as you can see. Hong Kong base. Really happy with this piece. I'm also looking for more variations of this Fox Body Mustang. There's some great graphics on some of these old Mustangs that I'm definitely after, so I'll update you if I pick any more of those up. Here's a piece that you don't see very often either, and I certainly wasn't aware of it until I tracked it down and saw it. It was just a cool piece. Again, these old stock cars just get me every single time. This is called the Stock Rocket, if you look it up in the books and everything, and but it's basically just based off a Buick stock car, and it's kind of hard to mistake that sort of steep slanted back end, the sort of thin window, quarter panel window, and then this flared up spoiler in the back, and then that slanted down front end with that big meaty teethy grill there. Pretty hard to mistake. Looks like a Buick to me, but it's a really great looking car. I love the tampos on this one. This has got some really unique, beautiful stuff. Red color with the yellow sponsor badges and great striping back here in the back, the number 17. Black interior, nice Hot Wheels logo on the hood, and there's that sort of mean looking front end. Look at that, really like that. Not a whole lot of detail in the back, but again, it's just got a heavy chunky metal look to it. Got a Malaysia base on it. Another reason I think it's a Buick is because if you look at the Mountain Dew version of the Racing Stalker, we've got the Buick logo right here on the side. So this is one I've had in the collection, the Mountain Dew Stalker, but it's not called the Stock Rocket. In fact, at the base of both of these cars say Racing Stalker. So again, it's one of those things where they call it something different than what's on the base. This one, the Racing Stalker, is usually referred to as the NASCAR Stalker, probably because of all the sponsor badges. But if you see it on the base with NASCAR Stalker, or if you actually see Mountain Dew Stalker on the base, you're in luck, because that's a really rare version of the car. This is the more common version. But both of those, exact same casting, both say Racing Stalker, but they refer to this one as the NASCAR Stalker and this one as the Stock Rocket. So, what have you, whatever you got going there, but they look great, don't they? Love those two pieces side by side. Back here, I was talking in a previous video about a couple of the super vans, and I ended up with a base variation that I was kind of a surprise. And I had this piece, which is the front running Fairmont in red, and I bought a lot of 2 or 3 other vintage cars, and there was another one of these, and I thought, well, that's fine, I'll just duplicate and have a second front running Fairmont. And then when it showed up, I realized I had a color variation. You can sort of see that this one has got more of an orangey red than this one, which is more of a red. And then if you look up close, you'll see that what I have here on the right is the metal flake. So let's see if it'll focus there. You can see the gold sort of metal flake there in the red on the right, and then this one on the left is the enamel red. So that's cool. I didn't expect to get the color variation there, and it's sometimes hard to tell online. But man, those are super cool together. Another version of the front running Fairmont is this one, which is another re-release that came out on the Hot Ones. As you can see, these are red wheels, and they don't have the suspension that the original Hot Ones did. But again, this was in the re-release of the Hot Ones, I think, or maybe the Flying Customs. I'm pretty sure it's the Hot Ones, though. Sometime in 2010, 11, or 12, I can't remember. But there's one other Fairmont that I picked up recently, and again, it's not called the front running Fairmont, but man, am I happy to have it. Look at this thing. This is sort of a grail piece of mine. This is a front run Fairmont by all means. It's if you can see, it's got the same body style, it's got the same detail on the tail and on the front. It's a front run Fairmont. Got the nice Hot Ones wheels. Even the base says front running Fairmont, but this one is referred to as the Race Ace, and is the only car referred to as the Race Ace that I can track down. But just love, I mean, the tampos on this are so unique. The white, super clean white with the sort of orange and purple and yellow colors on the side. Just love these retro graphics, man. They are super cool, and they look great with the Hot Ones wheels. Be cool to have a Blackwall version of this, just a variation, but I don't think it exists. And just love those graphics, man. But front running Fairmont is just a cool little stock car, And I love the variations on this one especially, because this one is near mint. It's just almost untouched, looks like a blister pull. So again, I love having these variations all together. It's something that I'm really passionate about at this moment, is getting these sort of various versions of these old sort of stock cars. So put this one back up in the case real quick, and then I'll show you another variation of the Torino Stalker. This one here is referred to sometimes as the Torino Tornado. This one here, the Torino Stalker, came in a lot of different variations. Most of them have a plastic base, if not all of them. Some of the reissues, I'll show you maybe a couple of them here in a second, have a metal base, but a lot of the old vintage Torino Stalkers had plastic bases. But again, just love the retro graphics here on the yellow color, and the logos here on the side, just really unique with the Hot Ones wheels. Really like that piece a lot. Very shiny chrome plastic metal base. Another one I have of this, I've shown this before, is this version here, the 23. Still looking for those thrill drivers for you guys who know what I'm talking about. But this one's kind of beat up. I'm going to get a cleaner version of this at some point. This one comes in a Blackwall variation, as well as this Redline version. But then there's this version, the black Torino Stalker here with the number 3 on the side. Again, love those retro graphics, just can't beat them. Plastic base. And then a couple of the reissues, just real quick. I've shown these before, but this 23, this was a reissue in Flying Customs, I think, maybe Hot Ones. Sort of a tip of the hat to this one, but it's got a metal base, which is super cool. And then this one here, this might have been the Flying Customs, I can't remember. With the straight up black walls, beautiful piece, metal base. So lots of variations of that Torino Stalker for sure. Let me get these put back up here. And then let's move on to some JDM. Why don't we look at some new JDM stuff I've got here. Well, not new, but new to me. So I showed this in a previous video. I picked this up at an antique shop. This is the Nissan 300ZX. Very cool piece. Love the all yellow base, yellow body, opening doors. We talked about this last time. Hot Ones wheels, great graphics. So I had to pick up the white one. Here's the white variation of that. I think this came in the Parking Plate series. It's a little dirty, so I need to clean it up a little bit. So I may hunt me down a little bit cleaner version. But still, it's exact same casting, just a white version, white base. So we've got those two side by side here. Very cool. And then I also tracked down this white version, which has got 300 on the side. And again, these sort of retro graphics. Really cool. Nissan right here on the side. Really cool graphics here on the hood and the top. Very clean window. See down in the interior there, lots of nice texture on the seats, if you can sort of peek back in there. Really great. Here's the base. So I really like how the base is the same color as the car on these, just kind of makes it stick out. So I got that version, and then I also have the red one, which is this version right here, Nissan 300ZX in red. Beautiful. Different graphics, but you have the turbo on the side here, 300ZX across the hood there. And same interior, opening doors. Looking in there, you can see some detail on the other side. Makes you want to sit down in there and rev it up, doesn't it? Man, that's cool. And then this one has a red base, which is super cool, and that's a Hong Kong base. So, man, that's really cool. I'm missing a blue version of this, and I'm really kind of after. I missed an opportunity to get one the other day, but there's a blue version that's got some turbo tampos that I'm looking for, and then there's a few other versions that I'm not terribly excited about, but I may try to track them down. I'm not sure, but I love this 300ZX for sure. Let's put these back up in the case, and then I'm going to end on, of course, we're talking JDM. It's hard not to talk about the Datsuns. So these two I've shown in a previous video, this 200SX. These two variations, pretty common, not too difficult to find. This, I guess, canary yellow version. It's got the chrome hood and everything metal on the inside here. It's really cool. The headlights are made out of the metal base. As you can see right there, they've got the metallic finish to them. And then the Hot Ones wheels, fantastic. Black interior, sort of blue tinted windows. This one is a Hong Kong base. just bouncy, and that thing would roll for miles if you let it. This one is the Metal Flake Gold version. Again, everything's the same, even the tampo work is the same. It's just different, slightly different color because of the Metal Flake Gold. This hood opens as well, same details. And it's weird how the windshield sort of doesn't quite fit into the casting, but it seems to want to stay put. So this one I paid $3 for, as you can see. I think it has a Malaysia base on that one. But I picked up the white version of this one. That one is really pretty. Really nice piece there. Almost has a bronzy look to the wheels on this white as opposed to back here, but I think they're the same color. Beautiful, beautiful work on this. Love the white version. The blue windshield really stands out on this one. This is a Hong Kong base. Hood opens. Really, really nice. Happy to have that variation. So those are exactly the same other than the color. All the tampos are the same. 3 variations of that. And then I found one I've been looking for a while, and that's this one right here. This one is a rare bird just because I believe it was only released in Canada, and it came on a different kind of card. I actually have the card. It was the card was damaged. This is different color scheme and different graphics. You can see the Datsun 200SX is still on the side here with the Goodyear, Pennzoil, and Simpson sponsor badges. You can see inside to the black interior, and then you notice the blue windshield is back, and it's weird how it just almost doesn't quite fit in there, but like I said, it's staying put. And this one does have an opening hood. I'm not going to push it up though because it's giving me some resistance here, and I don't really want to mess up how nice and tight it is right now. But you can see the similar details of the 200SX and the checkered flag logo here on the front. Really beautiful details. When I saw this in the book, I knew I had to have it, so I've been tracking it down for a while and was really excited to find it. Really happy to have that in the collection. So you can see this one here has a Malaysia base. It's a 1981 date on the bottom. And when I saw it first, it looked red. At least in the book it looks red, but it's got really more of a wine color, like a magenta color in person. I'm not sure if you can see, like a burgundy, but you can see this red car in the back. As a matter of fact, give you a good comparison. It's almost a purplish magenta color. So very excited about this variation of the Datsun 200SX, and it's definitely going to go well with my other 3 versions. So like I said, lots of cool variations that I've been tracking down, and of course I don't have them all. There's still quite a few more out there, and probably take me a lifetime to track them all down. But I just wanted to update you on the cars I've been collecting this summer and show them off a little bit. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Keep on motoring, guys. We'll see you next time.